as principal defender of the court plan?
Yes. Yes. I think most lawyers, judges, people in Missouri believe the Missouri plan has done a very good job since 1940. If there are ways that it can be improved, we're certainly open to listening. I don't see attempting to move that plan closer to politics is an improvement.
Do you think expanding the number of choices a governor has to choose from, the slate from 3 to 5, for example, letting him reject a slate and get another one, is that moving it closer to politics?
Yeah, one of the problems, there are two problems with that particular idea. One problem is the pool of applicants. Judicial pay isn't high, and relative to the amount lawyers make in private practice, the gap is widening. So we're not having the applicant pools we would want. There's a point to which you can't expand the number of people being recommended and still ensure quality. The brilliance of the Missouri plan is it is full of checks and balances. It doesn't let any particular person or governmental position have too much control of who makes it through the process and who gets appointed. If you concentrate that control in any one person or entity, then you diminish the ability of the checks and balances to make sure you get a good appointment.
And what about the idea of adding more citizens to the nominating panel, the Appellate Judicial Commission?
I think that can be considered.
Okay.
I'm not sure I don't want to favor or disfavor anything right now, endorse or reject anything. But I think that that is something that could be talked about and looked into. One of the things you want to be careful of is not to let that panel get so large that it becomes unworkable. Right now it's at 7, and that, my experience when I was Chief Justice the last time, is 7 works pretty well. It'd be hard to argue that 8 would be a problem. But at some point there would be too many people.
Do you think lawyers have too much of an influence on the panel?
My experience was that they did not, that the panel worked together and considered both the interest of the lawyers and the interest of the regular citizens in selecting the best applicants that they could.
The lawyers have a one-person advantage right now because you're a lawyer and then there's the 3 lawyer members elected by the bar. Is that an unfair advantage just because there's more of you than there are non-lawyer citizens?
Well, I wouldn't assume that the Chief Justice acts necessarily as a lawyer, although the Chief Justice has been a lawyer, is a lawyer. And I really wouldn't characterize the way the commission works in that way, that it's lawyers against citizens. What you have are 7 people working together to try and find the best candidates to submit to the governor. Lawyers have a particular experience in working in the legal process. They look at the applicants from a lawyer's point of view. Does this person know the law? Do they have a good reputation among other lawyers? Are they trustworthy? That's something that you need lawyers to be able to tell to the committee, the commission as a whole. Citizens take, my experience is they take a little broader point of view. They look at, is this the kind of person we want as a judge? Do they mow their lawn? Do they go to church? Do we know their kids in school? Things like that. It's the blend of the two together that works well. I'll be clear, I don't think just lawyers should pick out judges. I don't think just citizens without input from lawyers should pick the judges. It's a blend of the two, and the Missouri plan does it pretty well.
Is that why the Missouri plan works better, you think, than direct election as Illinois and some other states have?
Well, that's one of the reasons. The problem with direct elections is the perception of corruption. You look at the United States Supreme Court case in Caperton that just came down, where $1 million contributions it was feared that they may have bought the result in a lawsuit. in Illinois, there were huge contributions, and again, fears that those contributions bought the results in lawsuits. People in Missouri don't want their judges bought and paid for. I think we need to stay away from that as much as possible.